My name's Todd Ratner. I'm a lawyer here in Richmond, Virginia. Kevin and I actually went to law school together. To me, it's very important when I get a call, if it's something that I cannot help with, but I think it's something that has merit, and the person needs good help. I really think it's important, if I'm able to connect them with someone who can help them, that I want to do that. People just don't realize how many different types of legal practices and specialties there are, and it can be very intimidating. So if somebody calls me and I can't help them, I like to be able to refer them to someone who I think might be able to help them. And then if they can't, maybe that person says, oh, well, try this person. There's sort of two different types of lawyers in terms of a real general practitioner who's going to take whatever comes in the door versus highly specialized. This was a young man who had some pretty significant intellectual disabilities, developmental disabilities, and some physical limitations. But we are pretty plugged in to that community, especially even before we started doing the legal work for it. We've just been in Richmond for a long time. We've been active in sort of advocacy work on behalf of autism and things like that. So, our name is out there, and this family reached out to another family that happens to know us. They contacted me, and the story broke my heart. This poor young man, suffered a terrible spinal cord injury during transportation when his wheelchair, I think, wasn't properly secured. And so on top of all the challenges this family has already been facing caring for their son, they have now added a massive burden on top of that. And I felt really fortunate to think, oh yeah, I actually do know somebody who does that kind of work. This was a major catastrophic event, and I felt like it would require someone who really had handled those sorts of cases from start to finish before. And so I felt really comfortable calling Kevin, was glad I knew him. Candidly, he said at the time, look, if this turns into a case, there'll be a referral fee and blah, blah, blah. That was really the last thing on my mind. And as you might expect, it took several years from that conversation for the case to be concluded, and it just was not something that I was really expecting, although it makes a lot of sense for, it's not that Kevin's just being selfless about it, right? I think he understands, well, shoot, if Todd didn't refer this case to me, I would have never had it. If I know there's some financial incentive for me, why wouldn't I want to get it to someone who I know is going to take great care of the client and take care of me as well? It's a no-brainer. I can tell you this. He brought the check over. I can't remember, frankly, if he handed it to me or I think maybe he had a colleague just walk it over. His office used to be very close to here. I immediately took a picture of it, texted it to my wife, who was absolutely floored. She had no idea this was coming. I don't want to overstate it, but it was right around the holidays. It was amazing. But again, frankly, it was overwhelming. I was stunned, to tell you the truth. From what I saw of Kevin handling in this case, he knows what it takes to litigate these high stakes, high dollar value, catastrophic brain injury cases. And maybe there's lots of people in town who do. I can't say that, but I can say that absolutely Kevin knows what he's doing.